Rideshare apps have become a huge hit in recent years. Not everyone can afford their own car, and others may not have access to other methods of transportation. So, using an app to request a driver to get you from your location is a great alternative. It can be said that Uber is helping to create more jobs and productivity for drivers. So today we'll look more into this claim. First up, putting idle cars to use. In recent weeks, Uber Australia and Dominic, who's general manager of New Zealand Rides, got together to talk about the productivity benefits of car sharing at Australia's Economic Outlook luncheon. If you look at Uber, it's effectively a technology layer that is able to be overlaid into a real-world asset and increase the utilization to create greater productivity from an existing asset. Taylor said. He elaborated and said that Australia in particular needs to look into kickstarting the roughly 15 million idle cars that sit around 96% of the time. But it's not just Australians that need to rev up those engines, since globally speaking, lots of cars still remain idle when they could be used for productive uses. Taylor also discussed how cars are a pricey asset, and if people start to use them less, they'll get more expensive per kilometer every year. He also said that Uber's acquisition of car share business Car Next Door had the goal of making car sharing more mainstream. The goal would also be to seamlessly combine public transportation, ride sharing, and bikes and scooters so that it would be as easy as getting a car. We think it's a pretty important change to make, since it's safe to say that none of us enjoy having to deal with public transport issues in any circumstance. Now for some relevant and timely information. Uber's workforce spans the globe and is highly diverse, but all the drivers have one thing in common: their time is precious. Being able to have flexible and personalized schedules is a key selling point for the ride-sharing platform, with 86% of drivers saying they wouldn't be able to drive without the feature. It's pretty obvious that the learning style is a huge part of why drivers even want to work with Uber in the first place. Uber has managed to find great success by being pretty strategic when it comes to what information they surface and how and when they go about it. Questions like which learning content does each driver or delivery partner actually need, and what's the most convenient way for them to access it, are all crucial for helping the company better understand its employees. Having this training material with the Uber Driver app at a relevant moment allows drivers and delivery partners to learn on the go during their own time, on the device they are familiar with and use practically every day. Andrew Din, who's Uber's senior product marketing manager, said that a good example of this is called targeting. Targeting is essentially identifying people that actually need that information, as it allows them to self-serve and learn by exploring the content at their own pace, instead of just being bombarded with the information. So what about taxis? You may have heard about the ongoing fight between the two major ride-hailing industries, taxis versus mobile transport companies. Well, in recent years, countless studies have shown that Uber drivers carry more passengers per mile driven or hour worked than do taxi drivers. In other words, the Uber system is overtaking the taxi system when it comes to productivity. A paper published in 2016 titled Disruptive Change in the Taxi Business: The Case of Uber further proved Uber's influence on ride sharing. It looked more into how Uber's model of flexibility and personalization is what really allowed for it to overtake the taxi industry. On average, the capacity utilization rate is 30% higher for UberX drivers than taxi drivers when time is taken into account, and 50% higher when it's measured by miles. Although it should be noted that taxi data isn't as available to the public, and so it makes it a bit harder to calculate both measures for the same set of cities. Regardless, it's time that we can start to wave goodbye to the iconic yellow cab instead of waving it down. Now we have the importance of micro-learning. While traditional desk workers are more used to dealing with long-form training materials, the average driver or delivery partner for the Uber platform is more limited when it comes to the time spent learning. Many of those depending on Uber as a secondary source of income need engaging and fast-paced learning material so it works with their schedules. So how can a company deal with this? Well, that's where micro-learning comes in. Uber has seen pretty promising results by employing these learning techniques. Of course, no one likes to sit through long and monotonous lectures, so they've switched from long-form emails to quick and concise formats, like short presentations or videos. These methods are also aimed to replicate the way we are increasingly consuming content. Obviously, our attention spans aren't interested in lengthy instructions, so by focusing on more visual and interactive content that drivers and delivery partners can complete in just 2 to 3 minutes. And now for reducing friction. At Uber, making the user experience as seamless as possible is a key focus. Traditional learning management systems, LMS, are often unstable, requiring extra logins and producing a drop in engagement at the very first step. In fact, according to the source EduMe, 80% of workers are fed up with using passwords, while 92% would be more interested in using newer technologies such as smart cards or tokens. The platform has therefore come up with an even more innovative solution by using a seamless link feature. The solution has allowed Uber to curb the issue and reduce unnecessary friction. By essentially getting rid of the whole login experience, drivers are able to access content and other resources that can aid them right from the Uber app, then get straight back to earning. So no worries about forgetting your passwords. It's one less tension that drivers surely won't miss. Up next, democratizing content creation. How exactly has Uber been so successful in improving productivity, retention, and safety on such a large scale? By democratizing content creation. Andrew Din spoke more on the importance of empowering team members at the headquarters, national and local levels to create training for their workers, as they're the ones who understand their needs best. As the platform becomes more more robust, and as the drivers' needs become more diverse, it's really important for the company to enable people with the organization who have the closest reach to the customers. Lastly, building platform presence. In a quickly growing and highly competitive market like ride-sharing, Uber needs to constantly build platform preferences so that drivers see them as standing out as the best provider. It is no secret that Uber has a lot of other pretty strong competitors, like Lyft. So how do they plan to build platform preference for independent contractors to choose their company over another for work? The solution that they found was to make the user learning experience as engaging, convenient, and relevant as possible, ensuring that the drivers know how to be successful and reach their earning goals through Uber. All these efforts put forth by Uber certainly show why it's currently one of the highest-rated ride-sharing apps out there today. The popularity certainly didn't just come out of nowhere. Next, in other related news, Uber will now let users reserve a ride from airports 30 days in advance. Now that travel has largely returned to normal, Uber has announced that it's a good time to expand the availability of its Reserve at Airports feature. According to the company's Uber Reserve at Airports feature will be offered at various global airports. The feature was first announced in October of 2021 and lets riders schedule rides from the airport 30 days in advance, saving that long and tiresome wait for a ride at the curb. The feature can also track flights and automatically adjust the reservation time based on the flight information. The driver will also wait for 60 minutes at no additional charge, so there's no rush to run like a madman to the passenger pickup area, which the rider can also specify for you. However, the service only accommodates trips from the airport to another destination and not the other way around. And now, gas prices shooting up make it hard to find a taxi or Uber. With gas prices continuing to hover around $2 a liter, the pain is being felt acutely by those who offer craving services for a living. Drivers are saying that the price at the pumps is now cutting into their personal funds. Taxi drivers and drivers who work for ride-hailing or food delivery apps are now paying for their own gas, an expense that has shot up dramatically over the past year, and the increase seems to have no end in sight. Finally, Uber's package delivery service drives rapid growth for small businesses. Recently, Uber has said that Connect, its package delivery line of business, has completed 2 years of operations, helping deliver packages across various cities and driving growth for many small businesses around the world. Altogether, total deliveries through Uber Connect over a period of just 2 years have covered a distance enough to go around the Earth over 1,100 times. That's a wrap for this video. Do you guys think Uber is helping to increase productivity? Let us know in the comments below. Make sure to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel for more videos like this. See you in the next one!